All right, Lance, time to take a look. Film breakdown, video analysis. What does Todd Monken bring to the Browns?
Well, first thing, the thing about Todd Monken is that he is going to, I want to tell everybody this. First thing he's going to do, you see Tyler Huntley's here. And the reason I brought this simple play down is that when Tyler Huntley went in the game for them, they did not lose their identity. So the first thing that they do is that he says, all right, Tyler Huntley's my quarterback. Let's not put him in bad situations. He has really good feet. They used his feet a ton when he was in the game. They used half field reads. So instead of reading the full field, he would do a pre-snap read and they would work just left or right. I said it when against the Browns. Instead of trying to block the penetration from the Browns, they would let him run upfield. So his week-to-week plan, he never loses his foundation of physicality and what he wants to do, but he's going to use personnel groups. He's going to use multiple receivers, running backs, tight ends. He's going to run the quarterback at times. He's going to use multiple stuff and attack the weaknesses of the defense with the strength of his offense. When Huntley was in the game, his strength is he's a gamer. But he's not a guy who stretches the ball downfield, so he used his feet a bunch. He's not a guy who is, a guy that's gonna, he doesn't play a lot. So they made it really simple for him. And Huntley, I thought, played great under Todd Monken. He's a quarterback that I think is very underrated, but I think a lot of that has to do with Todd Monken's approach. So the first thing you're gonna get from Todd Monken is you're gonna get a week-to-week game plan against who they see that maximizes the strengths of his players and attacks the weaknesses of whatever defense they play. Not just a set scheme.
All right, so point two of what we expect to get with Todd Monken's offense: modern design, old school scheme. So take us through that.
So you're going to see just a couple simple powers here. So you're going to see the out motion that everybody runs, and then just power to the two-man side with a big back. And obviously Junkins isn't him yet, but he's getting there. So you're going to see just to pull the backside. They're going to pull the center there. Now, this is a crunch where they're going to pull the center and they're going to crunch it. This is what they did against the Browns. So again, this is just old school power. Everybody runs this at every level. Then you're going to see the wing here to the right. He's going to come down inside. He's going to trap that defensive tackle. And that's called a crunch. And the Bills play a very aggressive defense like the Browns do. So what ends up happening is that he's going to run power, counter, crunch, zone, pin and pull, jet sweeps, you name it. He's going to do all these things. They're going to be very complex in what they do, but the complexity comes from the eye candy, not exactly what the offensive line doing or the running backs are doing. It's the illusion of complexity. He's awesome at it, and that's very important. So he's keeping his old school roots, but he's adding motion. He's adding shifts. He's adding jet sweeps. He's adding zone reads. He's adding different stuff to maximize the talent. So you're going to get the week-to-week process that you get, and then you're going to get this old school kind of feel with the modern motion and shifts and dynamic play calling with multiple personnel groups.
All right, so point three of the 3 points of what you expect from a Todd Monken offense. He finds matchups.
Well, this is one of my favorite plays from Todd Monken. This is when I knew the Browns came into this game a few years back, and they were about as hot as a defense. It was that year they started off with the first 5 games. It was like people were comparing them to the Ravens Super Bowl team. They had not given up over 100 yards. They were just absolutely dynamic. And this is the play that I said, boy, I like this plan from Todd Monken. And what the game plan was, like I said earlier, they let the linemen get upfield and they trapped them. So instead of trying to block these guys, they said, come upfield and we'll hit you from another angle. But the thing I really liked in the pass game is that they said, why we don't have elite receivers? Why would we go against Denzel Ward, Martin Emerson, and these guys? Let's make JOK. Let's make these safeties. Let's make these guys inside, these linebackers, cover our really good backs. And I thought that was a great plan. So this is a simple rail route. This is a mesh concept that we all run. You can see the little pick by the receiver at the bottom of the screen because he knows he's going to see man against the Browns defense. So this is the other thing you're going to get. So everybody likes Schwartz, and we always talked about Schwartz creating matchups. This is what Todd Monken does on offense. This is creating a back who's really good against a linebacker who likes to tackle and doesn't always like to cover. And JOK is about as good in coverage as you can get, but it's really hard for a linebacker to cover an active back. So again, you're going to love the week-to-week plan. You're going to love the old school mentality with some new with some motions, and you're going to love him because he's going to find matchups. So if you think about Fannin and Judkins, he's going to maximize their skill set until they get other players.